Senior men's 1500 metres is going to be very exciting here. I reckon a bit of a battle between Luke McCann, James Dunn, Lughaidh Mallon, Ronan McMahon-Staggs, to name a few. Luke McCann won this title in 2022, and that is the only national title that he has to his name, and he'll be hoping that he can add number 2. So the men's 1500 metres lineup: James Dunn, Tullamore Harriers; Luke McCann, Oisin Murray, Lughaidh Mallon, Oisin Davis, Frank Buchanan, Niall Murphy, Louis Woodger, Ronan McMahon-Staggs, Cathal O'Reilly, Colin P. Smith and Fintan Cairns.
Yes, you see these athletes standing behind the lines in the white and black there. 348, Cathal O'Reilly, Kenny City Harriers. In the Luna Cello there at UCD, it's Louis Mallon, Katie. He'll be fancying his chances, but James Dunn and Luke McCann there on the inside to the Tullamore Harriers man and the UCD AC man. They'll be to the fore here, no doubt, and I'd expect quite the scrap for national honours here.
To be honest, it's very, very hard to predict. I think that any 3 of those athletes, between probably 4 actually, whenever you include Ronan McMahon-Staggs, James Dunn, Luke McCann, Louis Mallon, Ronan McMahon-Staggs, are definitely the ones to watch. And they're off in this men's 1500 metres final. Looks like Louis Woodger is hitting the front. Ronan McMahon-Staggs is going to front run this one, Rory.
Well, that
tears
our script out the window, to be honest. Ronan McMahon-Staggs of Dublin City Harriers not hanging around, Katie, and early on it's Louis Mallon on his shoulder, and they're going to go through 200 now in around about 27 seconds. So obviously McMahon-Staggs has said, nah, I've seen what's happened earlier on and I don't want that to happen to me. I'm going to lead from the front. And what we haven't seen so far in any of these races is the field completely strung out, but that's exactly what's happened.
First time competing at an indoor national championships for Ronan McMahon-Staggs today. Luke McCann was almost caught napping. I'm not sure he was expecting that to happen. He has thrown out the script for what we have seen at these championships so far in the middle distance races. No slow start here. Ronan McMahon-Staggs coming through 400 in about 58 seconds there.
Yeah, Luke McCann there mentioned Paris 2024 Olympian, competed in the heats out there at the men's 1500 metres. He has had a torrid time with injury, missed all of 2025, had to go under the knife, have surgery, but now he's back in action. And you know, it shows that it's very admirable to put yourself back on a start line when you may not be in your best shape. Like, he hasn't been near his indoor personal best at 334, but he's ran 340, 339 and comes to nationals to challenge for a medal, Katie. I think that's quite admirable.
It is definitely admirable, and especially when you think about the emotional journey that he's been on as well, how difficult it can be to take that much time out from the sport. If he could top the podium today, Rory, the full circle moment that would provide for him, potentially the closure and the platform that could provide for him for the rest of the season, I think would be massive.
Absolutely. The McCann siblings, of course, both Olympians. Jodie ran in the 5,000 metres in Paris. She's not here this weekend, but those 3 guys, Luke McCann sitting in 3rd at the moment, and Ronan McMahon-Staggs, Katie, still leading the way from Louis Mallon.
Yeah, James Dunn of Tullamore Harriers in the blue and white in 4th position. He just moved through there to take closer order as they come up to 3 laps to go. Still Ronan McMahon-Staggs. Louis Mallon, you have to admit, is in a pretty good position. McMahon-Staggs is almost a perfect pacing maker in this scenario. But Luke McCann also tucked in. They're well strung out at this point. I don't think we're going to see as much action, pushing and shoving as we have seen in the other 2 races so far in the middle distance events.
Yeah, our 4 senior medalists all have similar enough seasons, or 4 senior leaders there at the front. They all have senior season's best, so it's going to really get going now at 400 metres to go. McMahon-Staggs, Mallon, McCann, Dunn, Louis Woodger still trying to keep in contention as well. So yeah, 5-6 athletes still there, Katie, with just about 350 metres to go, and just a bit of argy-bargy there between Oisin Murray and Louis Woodger.
Louis Mallon makes his move round the outside of long-time leader Ronan McMahon-Staggs, but Luke McCann is going with him. McCann in prime position now. 1 lap to go. Louis Mallon in the lead. He's going to take the bell.
Yeah, the 2 UCD athletes, slightly different shades of yellow. Mallon and McCann. Mallon, a multiple time medalist. Ronan McMahon-Staggs back in 3rd, James Dunn 4th, but here goes Luke McCann on the road to redemption, making his move. kicking into the lead with about 70, 80 metres to go. Can Mallon respond? He isn't done yet. He moves wide and he's going to try and go by McCann. Mallon all the way to the line. It's Mallon on the line. He takes it in 3:43.47 just from Luke McCann. Thrilling action, Katie.
Louis Mallon was not done. Luke McCann went past him with 110 metres to go, and Mallon was not done. His first senior title. He has got on the podium the last 2 years, Rory. Once, the first time at a very young age, he was still a teenager, and now, on the third time of asking, tops the podium. 3:43 on the clock. What a run from Louis Mallon. He is a gutsy performer, Rory. You do not count him out. Really great performances this year. Gets a pat on the head from McCann. He's not too upset about that.
No, as I said, the redemption road for Luke McCann, and for him to come away with silver. And you see the replay here, Katie. McCann made that move, and you think at this stage it's his time with a lap and a half to go. He made this move with around 150 to go, but we'll just see Mallon here leading. And I think when McCann made that move, he thought, this is mine to take. As I said, the path to redemption. But just watch this last 60 metres, neck and neck, all the way to the line. And Mallon just gets it on the dip.
Yeah, Mallon, what a performance. What a moment for him, his family. McCann straining. He could just see the fellow yellow vest beside him laughing as he crossed the line because it was so close. And that's what we like to see, is a camaraderie. There's no sad faces here. They're all happy for each other.
Yeah, absolutely. It's great to see the camaraderie and the sportsmanship on show there by Luke McCann. He's back, Katie, and he's taken a long way to get back to this point. So great to see him back, and hopefully he can continue to kick on. And we'll see Louis kick on as well, also coached by Mark Kirk, your dad, as we mentioned.
So we finally got the results of that senior women's 1500 metre final. Lucy Holmes getting her first senior title after finishing second last year, 4:31.10. Niamh Carr on the podium again, 4:32.39, and Madison Mooney of Tullamore Harriers in third in 4:32.80.
And now Will Dalton has Louis Mallon, our national senior 1500 metre champion.
Well, another incredible finish here at the National Indoor Arena. Men's 1500 metres champion Louis Mallon now joins me. Louis, you left a late 6/100ths of a second, I think?
I didn't get a look at the time, yeah, but it was definitely late. I kind of thought 200 to go, I'll just take this on, just try and hug the rail. In my mind, that's kind of what I'd pictured myself doing ideally. And then Luke can pass me with maybe, 150 to go?
Roughly.
And I just thought, there was a second where my mind kind of switched off, but then I thought, no, get on him, you don't know what he'll be like in the last 20-30 metres, and so I stuck on to him, and I was fortunate enough that my legs had enough left to just come past him at the end, so it was very close.
Because we saw him passing you, and you seemed to almost get a bit of a shock with about 150 to go. Did you think when he passed you that you'd be able to maybe get back on him? Because Luke is such a strong athlete, isn't he?
Yeah, Luke's phenomenal. He's an Olympian, his pedigree's unreal. But one thing I've just been trying to work on is mentally
We can take a look at the replay here,
yeah.
So we can see you looking to see where he is. He's just hugging you all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, it's 250 to go, is it? And then that's coming to the last lap. Yeah, this is the end. So here I was kind of like, he's got away from me, but then there's a second right there. I'm just like, oh sure, stick on to him. You never know. And
then it was just a battle down the home straight,
it was just
wasn't
pure
it?
battle. Yeah, I was actually quite happy with my actual finish here with that bit. I think I timed it quite well. It's all just down to wee fine details and racing techniques. Whenever you've got so many good athletes together, that's often what it comes down to. So I was happy that I was able to pull that off.
And listen, the first senior title, the hard work, the hard winters, the grinds, all worth it.
Yeah, all worth it, 100%. It's rare in the sport that you get days like this where you really just get to come out and see all the support here for Athletics Ireland is phenomenal. And I think that race is kind of testament to where Irish athletics, especially Irish middle distance athletics, is going at the minute. It's off the scale, and that's reflected by the amount of people here in the atmosphere. So yeah, it was all worth it.
It's been fantastic. Tell me, what has 2026 got lined up for you?
Big summer of racing. I think there's I'd like to take on a few PBs, obviously, just win what I can. Cork City Sports, Morton Games, National Seniors, these are all great races we have in Ireland. Hopefully I'll be on the start line of all those, and Europeans are on in August. You never know, we'll see what happens, but
a great target to have.
Great
Why
target
not aim
to
high?
have. Yeah,
Louis Mallon, congratulations today.